that I can overcome them with work habit, mindset, just more mental toughness, more strategy, more preparation, right? All those kind of things. Being able to play through pain better than you can.
Yeah.
Like all the things that can make a person really, really good. It's like, it's like hard work always beats talent when talent won't work.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jackie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Okay, everybody, we are back. I am with my beautiful daughter, Miss Crissy. The last couple of episodes were pretty epic. They were all about Redwood Super Kids, the program Chrissy has bought that is, it's going really well, right? And you're having so much fun doing it, and it's pretty awesome. And, I know today I want to talk a little bit about your mindset journey with tennis, because even though you've been learning a lot of great lessons, I just feel like you've really turned a corner again because you're getting prepared for your junior year. You want to do even better. Your skill set, your physical skill set is improving every week because you're getting great training. You're healthier than you've been in a long time. But also, you want to make sure that you have your physical skill set working, plus you have the advantage of having a strong mental game, right? And so I know you've been chewing through some books. And by the way, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm writing a book about glue.
Here we go.
But I'm stuck on the first chapter.
You would never, ever be stuck on the first chapter of anything, Dad.
Did you hear the rumor about butter?
No.
Well, I'm not going to go spreading it.
I've never heard that one before.
Okay, got it. You actually laugh a lot more than Mom does.
I know.
That's a good
I
thing.
realized that. I've practiced. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so let's talk about mindset. This is exciting. I think that many people think that champions are born different, right? But the book that you're currently reading, what it says a lot is that champions simply build different habits, right? And so what made you want to read this book to begin with? First of all, what is the book?
The book is Champion Minded by Alistair McCaw.
Let's see this thing real quick. For anybody out there that might think that it's just like a simple cartoon book or something. Look at the thickness of this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
This would intimidate most people. But Chrissy is very interested in always getting better. And so she doesn't let big books intimidate her.
Yeah, for sure.
She's bigger than the big books, right?
Yeah.
So what made you want to read it?
Well, I read one of the quotes in it once. It said, "You're not born a winner. You're not born a loser. You're born a chooser."
Wow.
And I decided, well, if I'm a chooser, that means I can choose whatever, right? I can choose things that won't lead to success, or maybe sort of might lead to success, or I can choose paths that I can pour everything I am into and know I did my best along the way and give myself a chance at accomplishing the very, very big goals that I have. And I already read another mindset book from him also, and it was really, really good, but I noticed this one was quite large. And so I thought, why not start chewing through it before the season even starts and give myself another leg up on competition? Because like you said, no one's born different. And if they were, I definitely would not be in that category. I'm not naturally as athletic or flexible or even never been the best of my age at sports or anything like that. I've just been willing to not give up and decide to do my best. And that's what's really, led me this far.
It is true. It's, because I love to tell people about your journey. Your freshman year, you went out there and tried hard and made the varsity team, which is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. And you had a great season, but you didn't make the district team towards the end of the season. And that really stung, because you wanted to get further, and you were so close.
So close.
Right? So close. And, one thing I love about you is how you usually take disappointment you let yourself feel it for only a window. Maybe it's a day or maybe it's a week, whatever it may be. But then you start using it as fuel to say, how do I not get in that position again?
I had a lot of fuel.
Yeah. And then, because some people will just sit and wallow and just be like, that was so unfair and I'm such a victim and, maybe I'm just not good enough or whatever. And they almost go the opposite direction where they get worse. But you use it as fuel to be like, no, you know what? I can go win no matter what. There's always a way. And then, of course, this last year, you had a great season again, right? You went all the way through to the final round of districts and just missed it on a tiebreaker to make the state tournament, right? But it was
in the state tournament, you need to be the top 10 out of, 39 singles players, and I was playing
the best in the state,
the best in the state, and you're playing, and
we're playing the biggest school, like which this is like. Of all the 6A type schools, right? So you're playing the best in the state, not a smaller school best.
I didn't play one player that was not as good as me the entire week, and I had to play. If you lose first round, dang, you get punished for it. And I ended up playing the person that got third place first round, and I ended up losing to her and having to play another match that same night. Anyway, I had a whole struggle the next few days, and I ended up making it to the 7th match, where before that it's single elimination. If you lose, you're done. And so I ended up winning like 4 or 5 more matches in order to get to where I was. Hard matches, 2.5 hour matches, which is really a lot of time for a high school match, boys or girls. And
you're at the end of the season, and you're playing injured in multiple ways at this point.
Yeah.
Right. So
bad. And anyway.
So the long matches were even more challenging because of that.
Right. Yeah. And I ended up having to play double the matches as my competitors that same day because I ended up losing first round, and it was just, the odds were stacked against me, in other words, and I came so close and ended up losing in an overtime tiebreaker on the very final match. But it was to a really worthy competitor. She deserved it. She worked really hard, just like I did. And she ended up having to play the number 1 in the state, second round. And so we both really had a time of it, and we both worked really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So now this year, again, you're improving skill set, but you're also improving your mindset because you know that you have, a high ceiling in this. But to your original point, just so people are aware, myself, yourself, we're not necessarily the most gifted athletic people, right? Yeah. We're just not. But we are some of the toughest people you ever meet. That's one thing that you and I for sure both have going for us, and we've learned it in different capacities. But we have to really tune in our mindset to know that despite whatever advantages you might have over me that are kind of giftings, that I can overcome them with work habit, mindset, just more mental toughness, more strategy, more preparation, right? All those kind of things, being able to play through pain better than you can.
Yeah.
Like all the things that can make a person really, really good. It's like, it's like hard work always beats talent when talent won't work. And a lot of times, both you and I come against more talented people than ourselves that we beat pretty consistently because we always outwork them. But now this year, I'm happy because, I feel like there's this back and forth balance, this tension, if you will, between, okay, I got to have a positive mental attitude. I got to be mentally tough. I got to be able to handle pressure. And if I'm fairly skilled in whatever I'm doing in tennis, but these are weak, then I'm only going to get so far. So then you can work on this quite a bit, but then you can get so good here that your skill set over here, physical skill set, isn't where it could be. So you have to work on this. And so you're constantly doing this. And I've watched you doing this, like you're working on both. And you've had to really do a lot of work in this off season to be able to get your body back and on track. Like you've done you do a lot of painful things per day between stretching and just different types of form training that you do, learning how to retool even ways that you stand and balance and everything like that, because, you realize that part of your injuries were coming from having some different processes that weren't conducive to being able to do what you were doing in tennis.
Yeah, because when we moved here, I jumped right into tennis season with, little to no real training on it. And my entire high school, career has been fraught with injuries, but been able to overcome them, obviously. So I'm going to my junior year. I'm like, this has to end. I have to heal at some point. I cannot keep playing like this because it made me tougher. It gives me a leg up on my opponents because my teammates didn't have to deal with the same type things, you know. But I'm learning to not use it as a victim story of not getting where I wanted to be in the past, but how to use it as, this is going to make me tougher. It's going to make me a lot harder to beat because I've had to, you know, go through a lot of things that you haven't had to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So what are some of the biggest lessons you're learning so far from your book?
Well, let me get started on that. I have been chewing through this book as I've actually been doing my different recovery processes.
I like the tabs.
Thank you. I had to keep track of them. This book is very thick, and I've been doing my different recovery processes and figured why not train my mind while I train my body, right? Kind of double whammy action. So in the introduction to this book, actually, I really feel like it sums up perfectly what a champion-minded person is and what it means to have a champion mind. It says, a champion mindset is not about being gifted or talented. It's about being prepared, focused, disciplined, and having a deep, unshakable belief in yourself. The reality is some days you'll feel great and some days you'll feel terrible. Some days you're inspired and some days you can't even find the motivation to get out of bed. But here's what really matters. You have a vision, you believe in yourself, because there's no limit to what you can achieve. Your vision will drive you. Your job is to create a vision that makes you want to leap out of bed each morning and attack the day. Becoming champion-minded is not a sacrifice. It is a choice. You were destined for greatness, not just in the sport, but in life too. And so I feel like that sums up perfectly what a champion mindset was, and it sums up perfectly what I was not using in the past to its full potential. You've taught us a lot of mindset stuff, and we've been able to be better than other people, but not the very best I can be at my full potential. Wow. And so reading this mindset book, I've had to humble myself and realizing I don't have it all figured out, and I don't have the greatest mindset I can, but realizing that I wasn't born a winner. I wasn't born a loser. I was born a chooser. And I choose to get better at this. And I choose to use this to my full advantage when other people won't. And I choose to work hard at this when other people won't. Even if the people who are succeeding on our team, who have talent and no work ethic, are still, you know, beating me. I'm going to choose to use that as a pedestal to get better, not only physically, but at this. And so I choose to become champion-minded.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to vision, what do you have as a vision for your tennis career over the next couple of years?
Well, for the next 2 years, my junior and senior year, I have a vision to win state individually and as a team for the next 2 years. And it doesn't matter what I'm playing, doubles, singles, whatever. I want to win.
Could be mixed doubles, could be doubles, whatever ends up forming up best per the team.
Right.
That puts you in a position. But you want to be able to chase. I mean, you've been in on the varsity team 2 years in a row, and you've won the girls' 6A state championship as a team both years.
Districts and state.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and next year we're going on a 4-peat when we win. And I think only our rival schools accomplish that. So we're chasing it.
Ah, okay. There you go. So this year's a big year for the team overall. But also you want to be able to win whatever you are participating in individually and get a state title that way.
State title.
Whew. That's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah.
Right.
Redemption.
So that's what's building your story right now. That's what's getting you up. You keep that vision in front of you. So when you're foam rolling, you know, your leg out and it's painful, you're thinking about the overall big mission that's coming, right? And this is all part of the habits that'll get you in a position to be able to win a state title. For sure. Right? When you're cold plunging, which you do multiple times a week.
Yeah, it's painful.
Right? Up to your neck for all of you out there, right? I mean, and now your little sister who just absolutely wants to just model after you completely. She looks up to you so much. She's even getting in these cold plunges. She's going underwater in the cold plunges.
She's the only one I can convince to do it, actually. And I was really surprised. I dared her to do it the other day when we were spending time in the hot tub. And she went all the way under in the cold plunge. And the cold plunge was cold.
She's really tough.
She's tough.
She's like you. She's really tough. And she needs to be pushed a little bit, but then she kind of surprises everybody with her level of toughness. And, you know, she's only going to be in 8th grade this year, and she wants to follow your path for sure, which is pretty epic. Okay. So, you know, what are some other key points that you're getting from this book? You know, one thing that was really intriguing to me is that, for all the audience out there, you want to talk about a proud parent moment. Okay. I feel like me and Jackie have been pretty intentional about trying to create atmospheres that make our kids want to bring the best out of themselves, whether that's in a sports environment, a business environment, a school environment, whether it's just in how we navigate and manage our family. Like we're always trying to put you guys in good positions to be able to shine and excel. And we're not afraid to have you go through some tough things in order to be able to go earn it, because that's where the real fulfillment comes from. Mm-hmm. We don't really hand you much. We challenge you quite a bit. But we also don't challenge you in a weird way where there's like some kind of punishment or something if you don't want to go for something. We just try to nudge you in a healthy way. And then what the proud parenting moment is I remember, making you pretty much read some success books at some point. When I say make you, I guess I probably incentivized you through paying you to do it.
You incentivized us. You bribed us a little bit.
I did.
Here's the thing, though, is that the money that we made was going to go towards a goal that it was our decision to accomplish. And so it all worked in a circle of amazingness. And I ended up accomplishing the goal for the record.
Of course, you did.
It contributed.
Yes. And so, for me, the proud parent moment was that every parent wishes that at some point, all of this work you're putting into trying to build your kids into certain habits, listening to success, reading about success, applying success, being able to go fail and then learn from the failure to then come back stronger. All those things that, in the moment, you don't see them really happening. But, when you came to me and I saw that you were reading that whole book there, and I'm just like, wow, how come you're reading that book? And you were just like, I just really feel like I want to kind of fine tune my brain. And then you told me something that was really powerful to me. And you said, Dad, I don't know how you said it, but this is how I heard it. You said, I'm one of the most toughest kids mentally of pretty much anybody that I know. But when I'm reading this book, I'm realizing I'm not that tough compared to what I can be. Mm-hmm. Right. And I was just like, wow, okay, let's go.
Yeah. I felt like the worst mental attitude person when I'm reading through this book. It's very humbling because every single chapter is like challenging. It's like, so what are your standards? What are you going to be doing when the coach isn't watching? How do you react when you fail? How to react when you win?
Wow.
That's the things that make a champion-minded athlete, which ended up making a champion athlete.
Yeah. We're done with this episode and we're going to do a few more on this topic, but I do want to throw this out there because we're just trying to be in the service mode of our audience and people who are following us. And so if this conversation encouraged you and you guys would like to learn a little bit more about mental toughness for your youth, then why don't you just send a direct message on any of the channels you're on of the word champion. And when you reach out, we'll find out a little bit more about what you're looking for. We have a couple of like documents we could share with you that would be good recaps of some of the key points. On top of that, there might even be some opportunity for Chrissy to do a little bit of coaching, some mindset coaching for any of your young athletes out there. Again, I'm just telling you, parents, I have been watching how much power there is in a peer who's a little further along coaching someone who wants to get better versus them just learning from an adult or just from a book.
Right.
So I'm sure that Chrissy would be willing to do some kind of group coaching for champion mindset along the way too. Add it to your list of businesses, but I think you would do really well at it,
Yeah.
And so if there's somebody out there, sometimes this is how a new business starts out. It's just, there's a need. And if somebody really has a desire, because I hear people say, man, your kids are amazing. And I wish someone could help teach my kid how to do that, and I'm like, well, it's going to be a joint effort between you, but also someone like a Crissy, who could actually help. So direct message us, share in a comment, the word champion, and then we will get back to you.
Sounds great.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.